Breaking news with New Metro. Today at New Metro Studios, we are joined by a representative from Empire Entertainment. What's popping with Bruce Crosby? Hi, Bruce. How are
Hey
you?
man, awesome to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. And for those that don't know, can you tell us a bit about yourself and your love for cinema?
Yeah, sure. So I mean, I've got a massive love for movies, filmmaking, a bit of a history in I've done quite a bit of voice acting. I'm now a content creator, and I've dabbled a little bit in the writing and directing side of films as well. So a little bit of everything.
Wow, and that's amazing that you've directed movies too. So, the festive season is here, and we're kicking things off with Red One. Can you tell us a bit about the movie and what audiences can expect?
Yeah, I think what's really cool about Red One is it kicks off the festive season in a really fun and exciting way. It's a great reimagining of Christmas, and there's been this long debate raging for a very long time of what constitutes a Christmas movie. Everyone from saying it's Die Hard to saying no, it's Elf. And I think we find a happy medium in this film. We got a bit of everything going on. It's really a buddy cop comedy at its center, but it's got some great undertones, some great themes that it follows, and that sprinkling of Christmas right the way through that really sort of is going to, I think, delight a lot of families going out to see it.
Oh, amazing. And I love that you mentioned Elf and Die Hard. This is always
It's the
going to be a
perfect
selling.
crossover.
Yeah, I'm sold.
Yeah.
I'm in. It's perfect. All right. So if you had a chance, so speaking of directing, if you had a chance to direct any movie featuring two of the characters from the movie here, what would it be and what genre would you go for?
Well, picking two is tough because the cast is absolutely stacked.
Oh.
I think it's an incredible cast, but I think for me, J.K. Simmons would be my first pick. He's just such a diverse actor. He's done everything from these really like intense character roles in, I mean, J. Jonah Jameson in Spider-Man. I mean, he is J. Jonah Jameson. He's done a really intense character performance. In this one, he gives a really new and fun take on Santa Claus, which I didn't quite know how to feel about, seeing J.K. Simmons take on the role, but really, really enjoyed it. And in between, he's taken these really nuanced, intense roles like in Whiplash. So he's a character that's just got so much range, and he's earned that with J.K. Simmons. Yes. You see in the credits, he's up there with Samuel L. Jackson,
yes,
with Jack Nicholson.
Main character vibes.
Main character vibes. So definitely, for sure, I mean, he would be an absolute dream to direct in a film. And funny enough, I would say from this one, Chris Evans, who I think has maybe been sort of seen as one-dimensional for a long period of time, but he kind of breaks those shackles in this film. I don't think he's been given the full chance to sort of show what he can do. Obviously, being cast in one role for so long. And yeah, so I'm writing a film at the moment, which is sort of a historical biopic kind of vibe. And those two were slotted nicely. So if you guys are watching, agents are watching, just give me a shot.
Yeah.
We'll hook it up.
Shoot your shot, man.
Shoot your shot.
There we go. Okay, and I know we were talking about this. We're excited about it. Can you talk about some upcoming titles that you're particularly excited for, and tell us what the audiences can expect from these?
I think like Christmas season is always a great time for films. It's a great time to be with your family, go out to a cinema, spend some time, you smell the popcorn. It's a full experience, right? So that's really and the releases coming up are so important for that. As you can see, I'm a massive nerd. I mean, we've established this. I think we both are in that geek culture. We're the same WhatsApp group.
There we go.
So that's the thing is we're really there's a lot of interesting stuff coming. But for me, what's super exciting is a trip back to Middle Earth.
Whoa.
And spending some time back in Peter Jackson's world that he crafted through Tolkien's work, with War of the Rohirrim coming out in December. Cannot wait. And the fact that it's a crossover between anime and this Middle Earth retelling, cannot wait.
It's my two favorite genres, dude. Fantasy
and Kenji Kamiyama
anime.
directing, it's going to be absolutely incredible. Cannot wait for it.
He's back. Peter Jackson is back.
Peter Jackson's back. Kenji Kamiyama's back. We're having this amazing amalgamation between the two. I think, when you going into something like Lord of the Rings, it's got such a really dedicated fan base that you need to do it justice. And I think they've got the perfect crew together to make sure that the fan base is happy. And we're bringing some new fans, bringing those original Peter Jackson fans who loved that original trilogy that he put together, as well as Kenji Kamiyama bringing that sort of real, like anime genuine anime feel to it. It's going to be incredible. Cannot wait for that.
Okay, awesome. And stepping back to Red One, so you've seen the movie. Can you tell us your initial impressions and if there was a standout moment that really stayed with you?
I think Red One is one of those movies, it's more than a sum of its parts, right? It's one of those films where like I said, Christmas movies in the past can sometimes alienate people a little bit because you feel like maybe they lent too much into the romance or too much into the comedy, or it's Die Hard and it's just action and people just claim it's a Christmas movie because it happened during that time. I think with Red One, what's really, really exciting about it is that there is this constant thread of a reimagining of Christmas throughout the film. And everything from how they've concealed the North Pole to everybody for hundreds of thousands of years, to the age of the rock in the movie, to the logistics behind what Santa does. Parents are going to be able to come away from this and explain to the kids. Kids are always asking, how does he do it and why not? The movie tells you. It shows you the full logistics, the simulations they run, the technology they use, the team behind everything.
Black Ops.
Black Ops.
The A-team,
you know,
yeah.
the Garcia, the polar bear running security alongside the Rock. It really covers all of those aspects really well, and I think there's some great themes there that are explored as well throughout the film. So it's more of a case of that reimagining of Christmas is what stuck out to me so much. In a film like this, where there is this meld of action, buddy cop, comedy.
Yes. And I love what you mentioned about the creativity, the slight creativity of like really intricate things, like how Christmas plays out with this specific movie is amazing to hear.
And how everything falls apart if Santa's not involved.
Yes. There we go. Okay, so this cast is pretty much stacked, right?
Stacked.
Like you
we
mentioned.
discussed it. It's stacked.
And we've got J.K. Simmons, who's also the voice of Omni-Man, right? Of course. And then we've got Chris Evans. Lucy Liu is back on the big screen. So were there any characters that sort of stood out for you? And was there a character that really bodied the role?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like we said, the cast is stacked. Yeah. And a role that actually surprised me was Chris Evans, which you kind of expect one thing from Chris Evans now. He's kind of been put into that mold. And I think in this one he breaks that mold. He really explores his comedic timing. He's really funny. He plays off well against The Rock in that buddy cop kind of vibe. Really, you see in the trailer, it starts off, he's a character stealing candy from a baby. And he has this phenomenal arc where he deals with a lot of the problems that I think a lot of us deal with. As much as Christmas is a magical time and a wonderful time for a lot of families, it's also a difficult time for a lot of people. And his character goes through some of those struggles. And the film really does a good job of encapsulating how someone who's maybe struggling a bit over Christmas can still find that sort of Christmas spirit and go through that arc, which is a lot of fun to watch on the screen.
That's so cool to hear, man. And one thing that stood out for me in the trailer was Naughty-less tier level 4.
Tier level 4, yeah. He is an NL4. And The Rock is very adamant about that.
Acronyms and everything, man. So good. Okay, so here's a question for you from the movie world. If you could step into any world of any movie for a day, which would you choose and why?
Well, I think, we just touched on it, a few moments ago, but just because of the way the world is created, it would have to be Middle Earth. It's got to be Lord of the Rings. I've got to go into that world. I've got to go into that world. And I think the reason for that is that we have a director who, when he made those films, gave the mandate to his cast to say, these events happened. Tolkien's work is sort of the Bible in this case. This is the historical record of events, and we are telling that story. And when you set that as a baseline, and that's why I'm so excited to see him as part of War of the Rohirrim, is when you set that baseline, you create a world that feels lived in and feels completely authentic and is filled with lore. And to step into that and have this entire history of, now we're going to start seeing a bit of the backstory of Helm Hammerhand in War of the Rohirrim and how the Hornburg and Helm's Deep was used previously. We have stuff going on with the Hobbits. There's so much going on. It's a phenomenal world to step into, and to be part of it for just a day would be pretty
amazing.
Incredible.
The Red Dawn. We're gonna get it. Okay, so back to Red One. Let's wrap up with that. Can you tell us, how did this make you feel in terms of the holiday season? And of course, how can audiences expect the same from the festive season?
I think we've touched on most of it, but in a word, Christmassy. You come out of it, you want to set up your Christmas stuff. You want to go through that process, and again, touching on those really important themes. It's a buddy action comedy Christmas all wrapped into one, but it's also got a lot of heart, and it deals with really intense themes of like losing your faith and having faith in friends. And I think you come out of it with that heartwarmed feeling that makes you want to go home and set up your Christmas tree.
Wholesome, man. That's amazing. And again, Elf and Die Hard. That's the
Elf and Die Hard, the perfect crossover.
Let's go. Okay, so awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today, Bruce.
Thank you for having me.
It was amazing chatting to you. And of course, Red One releases. Go and check it out at New Metro Cinemas.
Go see it.